Good day to all of you. So, our last video demonstration is creating PERT CPM chart using the manual method. Now, for this tutorial, I'm going to teach you how to create a PERT CPM chart using a particular project management software. So, before we start, I'm going to use the same problem that I've used in the PERT CPM chart in the manual mode. So, that's why we can compare it. What is the difference of using a program such as a project management software and against the manual method. So allow me to read the text for the problem again. So forest point construction. At forest point construction, your boss says he can estimate the total project time based on his personal experience. You are trying to convince him that he should use project management techniques to handle. To prove your point, you decide to use simple example of a commercial steel building construction project with 8 steps. You can create a hypothetical work breakdown structure as follows. Prepare the site in 3 days, and then set the building footers in 3 days. Finish the foundation in 5 days, and then assemble the building in 3 days. When the building is assembled, start 2 tasks at once. Finish the interior work in 5 days and set up an appointment for the final building inspection in 15 days. When the interior work is done, start 2 more tasks at once. Landscaping in 7 days and driveway paving in 3 days. When the landscaping and driveway are done, do the painting in 2 days. Finally, when the painting is done and the final inspection has occurred, arrange the sale in 2 days. Now you ask your boss to review the tasks, estimate the total time, and write the answer on a piece of paper. You look at the paper and see that his guess is wrong. So again, these are our tasks. So number 1, what is the correct total time? Number 2, what is the critical path? And number 3, create a PERT CPM chart. Okay, before we go to that project management software, maybe you have noticed in the problem. So in this part, to prove your point, you decide to use simple example of a commercial steel building construction project with 8 steps. Okay, where does this 8 step derived? If we're going to count the bulleted paragraph or sentences, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's only composed of 6. So, definitely it's not there. And then, have we derived the 8 steps? It's this way. So, prepare the site is step 1. And then, set the building footers is step 2. And then, finish the foundation, step 3. And then, assemble the building is step 4. And then for this one, when the building is assembled, start 2 tasks at once. Finish the interior work in 5 days and set up an appointment for the final building inspection. So since these 2 tasks are done concurrently or at the same time, this is considered a single step. So this will be step 5. Just the same with the next condition. So when the interior work is done, start 2 more tasks at once. So landscaping and driveway paving is also considered a single step. So this is step 6. And then when the landscaping and driveway are done, do the painting. This is step 7. And then finally, when the painting is done and the final inspection has occurred, arrange the sale, which is step 8. Okay, I just reiterate this because it does not necessarily mean that if indicated it's 8 steps, meaning it's also the number of durations. In the previous example, in the previous video, I did not um, focus on these 8 steps because I already taught you that how to get the number of durations, tasks rather, is you need just to look with the number of uh, tasks with the number of duration. So that's already the number of our tasks. Okay, so let's start with our software. So we're going to use this particular software, which is called Project Libre. Project Libre is an open source project management software. Of course, since it is open source, meaning it is free. You can acquire it for free And then it's counterpart of Microsoft's project software, which is of course a proprietary software. You need to pay it before you can use it. Actually, there are other project management software available in the market. I'll just use Project Libre because it resembles the one we did in the PERT CPM in manual method. So this is already the interface of Project Libre. Every time you start the software, a dialog box will pop out. So we have welcome to Project Libre. What would you like to do? So it's either create a project or open project. Since we're going to create a project, so let's click create project and then project name. Let's name it based on the situation or based on the problem. So forest point construction. And then manager, assuming I'm the manager, yours truly. But for project manager, example, if you're going to create your own um, PERT CPM, you can assign your team leader or your project leader for the manager. And then for the start date, you have to indicate the start date. Unlike what we did in the manual method, we only pertain to day 1, day 2, day 3, day 15. But for this particular, any project management software, they're using dates. And then assuming for our example, our starting date is today. And then for forward schedule, let it be, let's stay the setting as it is because that's the default. And then if you want to put notes specifically for this project, you can do so. But actually, this is optional. And if all is okay, then just click OK. Okay, after clicking OK, there are two spaces or workspaces that you will notice. We have this one, a table like, and then we have, this is for the Gantt chart. Okay, let's study first the parts of this table. So from this column, this will appear the number of tasks, and then name is the task description, and then duration, of course, is the number of duration of the particular task. And then if you're going to input the duration, automatically, the start and finish dates will fill up. And then we have the predecessors, of course. You're going to put the where the what is the task that this task is following, and then we have this resource names. Okay, we're not concerned actually in the manual method for the resource names, but if you're using the software, specifically this software, of course, is really used in all projects, in real projects of the real world. You can put the name. You can put the name where this person is assigned to a particular task. So, for example, if you're going to do a project management here at Project Libre, you need to indicate the resource name so that you will know who is responsible for this particular task. Okay, if you filled up this table for this Gantt chart, so let's hide first the resource names. Okay, it will automatically fill up the Gantt chart. It's the Project Libre's duty or its functionality. Now, once you put a task here in the duration, it will automatically plot the Gantt chart here. Okay, so let's start. So let's get back to our problem. So first is prepare the site in 3 days. Okay, so we have prepare the site. Duration is, of course, automatically, Project Libre will ask, is this a 1 day? Then question mark. Since it's not, it's 3. You have to input 3. Okay, so it will appear as, it will start at September 24, 2020 at 8 a.m. This is official office hours. And then it will end at 9:28 or September 28, 5 p.m. Okay, I think something is wrong. As you can see, since it's 3 days, you will assume that 24, 25, 26. it should be 26. But why does the date appears as 28? Okay, we can look at the calendar as to why Project Libre assigned it as September 28 and not September 26. Actually, Project Libre considers Saturday and Sunday as a non-working day. So that's why it became September 28. So let's see. Okay, today is Thursday, September 24. That's day 1. 25 is day 2. Okay, it should be 26, but as you can see, 26 falls on a Saturday. So again, Project Libre, as I've said again, as I'm repeating it, it considers Saturday and Sunday as non-working days. So their third day is 28. So that's why day 1, day 2, and day 3. So that's why it's September 28. Okay, predecessor. Thus, this task as a predecessor task? None, because this is the starting task. Okay, what are we going to put? Are we going to put just like the notation that we've used in the manual, which is a hyphen? Okay, no. There's a message. Invalid predecessor. Please use valid task ID numbers. Predecessor information is expressed as predecessor ID number, dependency, and lead or lag time. You can also use the task information dialog box and then click OK. So let's just try 0. It will. Oh, it's also an error. So what's the solution for this problem? Okay, for this problem, just put it blank. If it is just leave it blank so that it means that that is the starting task. As you can see, the Gantt chart really starts on September 24, Thursday. Okay, next let's proceed with task number 2. Then set the building footers. Set the building footers. As you already noticed that Project Libre automatically indicates also the task number. So set the building footers is what? How many days is it? Okay, it's also 3 days. Okay. And then, does it have a predecessor? Yes. The predecessor task is task number 1. Okay. Let's remove this again. Okay, if you could see, if there are no predecessor, Project Libre will always assume that it will always start on the starting date, as you can see. But if you will put a predecessor, it will automatically have an arrow from task 1 going to task number 2. And then let's check the duration. So the starting date of set building footers is September 29. Okay, then it will end on October 1. Day 1, day 2, day 3. Of course, they will come in sequence or in succession because there is no weekends on this because it's Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Unlike the previous task, which is 24, 25, and 28, not including the 26 and 27. They considered it again as a non-working day. Okay, next is we have task number 3. Finish the foundation in 5 days. Okay, finish the foundation. Okay, this is 5 days. And then its predecessor is, of course, as I've said in our previous video, that we have to assume that finish the foundation follows the set building footers. If the set building footers is already done or finished, next will be the finish the foundation. So we have task number 2 for its predecessor task. Okay. And then our task number 4 will be assemble the building. Assemble the building. So this is 3 days duration. Okay. And then predecessor would be, of course, task number. We have task number 3. Okay, so they're just in sequence. Okay, task number 5. Task number 5, we have when the building is assembled, start 2 tasks at once. Finish the interior work in 5 days and set up an appointment for the final building inspection. So for this one, we have a multiple successor task after the building is assembled. So let's go back. So the next is finish the interior work. The interior work. And that would be task number 5. It has a duration of 5 days. Since its predecessor, when the when the building is already assembled, okay, so that will be its predecessor. So it's task number 4. And then another one is we have set up an appointment for the final building inspection. Okay, so set up an appointment for the final building inspection. This duration is 15 days. And then it is concurrent task with task number 5. So its predecessor is also number 4. Okay, you can see our Gantt chart. This is a big difference from the earlier um, sequence. Why? As you can see, this is the concurrent task. Then why this one is color blue? It means that this task with the blue color means this has a slack time. As I've already discussed, slack time is um, the number of days in which this task can still be finished without going to a day-to-day basis, maybe an interval. So for this one, for task number 5, since it is 5 days, and then the concurrent task number 6 is 15 days. So task number 5 has 10 days slack time. They have a grace period of 10 days because its concurrent task is longer than its duration. Okay, next is we have task number 7. We have when the interior work is done, start 2 more tasks at once. Landscaping in 7 days and driveway paving in 3 days. So we have landscape. Okay, landscape. For how many days is landscape? We have 7. And then we have what is the predecessor task? It is said here that when the interior work is done. So meaning, finish the interior work, it's task 5. And landscape is also concurrent with task number 8, which is driveway paving. So pave driveway. So paved driveway has 3 days duration. And then also again, since 7 and 8 are concurrent, they have the same predecessor task, which is task number 5. Okay, next is we have when the landscaping and driveway are done, do the painting, which is 2 days. So for this condition, we have we have a multiple predecessor task, the landscaping and paving the driveway. Okay, so we have task number 9, do the painting. Okay, how many days duration is this? We have 2. And then its predecessor it is indicated that when the landscape and paving the driveway are done, so do the painting. So we have 2 predecessors. So how are we going to do it? Can we do it just like the one we did in the manual mode? So we have 7, comma 8. Let's see if there's an error or it's just okay. Okay, as you can see, in Project Libre, instead of using comma, you should use semicolon. It automatically corrects that if you put comma, it will be corrected to semicolon. So the correct notation for predecessors with one or, of course, with one or more predecessor is you must use a semicolon. Okay, as you can see also in this Gantt chart, we have if the landscaping and paved driveway is complete, and then you may start to do the painting. It also has slack time because of it is concurrent with the setup appointment for the final building inspection and also the do the painting. Okay. Next is already we already on the last task. So finally, when the painting is done and the final inspection has occurred, arrange the sale. So we have arranged the sale, which is 2 days duration. And then what's its predecessor task again? It is multiple predecessor. So when the painting is done, that is task number 9. And then set up an appointment for the final building inspection. That is task number 6. So we have 6, semicolon, and then 9. Okay, can we put 9 and then 6? Okay, it will also automatically correct, of course, because 6 is it is before 9. Even though if you interchange, actually there's no problem since it's a multiple predecessor task. So this is already our Gantt chart. As you can see that you could only arrange the sale if you finished the building inspection and the painting is finished. So that's why they have 2 arrows for your task number 10. Okay, again, as a good practice of using a computer, so please save your work. So just look for a folder in which you could save your work. Okay, so for example, just going to save it in my folder for this subject. Okay, so we have Forest Point Construction.pod. That's its file extension. Project document. Okay, so let's save. Okay, so we already have the table, the list of tasks, the Gantt chart, and then how are we going to view the PERT CPM? Okay, the PERT CPM is available in the task tab. Okay, actually PERT CPM is called network diagram. So let's see. Okay, so this is the derived um, per CPM from the problem. And then again the blue ones, these are the tasks with the slack time. Okay, since we're using dates and the question is in the problem now is what is the correct total time? So since this is already a date, what we can do is just to verify if it's really 31 days, as you can remember in our manual example. So let's count. So September 24 is day 1. And then you're going to count excluding Saturdays and Sundays. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31. So, what we did for this project, Libre software, is just the same with the manual, which has a total duration of 31 days. Okay, so just the same. The correct total time is 31 days. And then number 2, what is the critical path? Okay, how can we go back to the critical path? Okay, let's go back to the Gantt chart. So, how are we going to get the critical path? Okay, let's go with the View tab. And then in the No Filter, select Critical tasks. Okay, if you're going to click critical tasks, as you can see, at first, there are 10 tasks, but if you select critical task, it will only leave it the tasks 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, and 10. And these are the tasks are just the same with the ones that we have identified in the manual method of creating PERT CPM. So this is correct. And we have already verified that what we do in the manual mode and in the Project Libre mode are just the same. It's just that Project Libre is using dates instead of day 1, day 2, and so on. Okay, again, you can save your work. Okay, so do you have any questions? Okay, if you do not have any questions, please stay tuned for other videos that I'm going to upload. And then I hope that you have learned something using Project Libre. It is also a very powerful tool since you're not going to manually do the Gantt chart, and then it will also produce the network diagram or the PERT CPM chart. So really, if you do not have any questions, thank you for listening. Good day and stay safe.